Let's play a game. This is the game of Patchwork, a game for 2 players where you are trying to build a quilt. I know it sounds real lame. Trust me, it is so fun. To set up this game, each player will take a player mat. You'll lay out all the pieces randomly in a circle around the board, kind of like a little quilting seance. Put the time board down and pick your colors. First player is the player who used a needle last. Before we get started with this game, guys, I need a ruling. Do knitting needles count? If the rule is last person to use a needle goes first, do knitting needles count? Ruling down below. All right, continuing on. On your turn, you can do one of 2 choices. Either advance your character to gain buttons, or move the neutral guy up to 3 patches in front of you to gain a piece. Thank you, Quilt Token Guy, for providing me fabric. Once you've picked your piece, you will pay the button value as well as move your token up the time counter and then place it on your board. That's an awful piece. Why would I choose that piece? If you don't decide to buy a patch and you do decide to move forward for buttons, you will move up to the space in front of the other player. You will get 1 button per space you move. As you travel along the board, you will pass button and square spaces. The button spaces get you button income. Every time you pass one, you will get a number of buttons equal to the number of buttons you have on your current quilt. If you pass a square piece, and you are the first one to pass it, you get that square piece and can put it anywhere on your board. Keep in mind, just like any other pattern piece, you have to put it on immediately. You can't hold on to it. There's no stashing quilt pieces. Cheater. Put it on the board. Unlike other games where there's a back and forth, one player takes a turn, the second player takes a turn, the person who is furthest behind on the time track gets to take the next turn. Because the person who is furthest behind gets to take the next turn, that means it is possible for you to take multiple turns in a row. The game will continue until both characters reach the center of the time track. Once both players have reached the center, you will then score your boards. If you were the first person to reach a 7x7 grid, you get the extra 7x7 token. You will count up all of your button income and then subtract 2 points for every empty space you have on your quilt. To be a master seamstress, you are going to need my top 3 tips. Tip number 1, be sure to watch your time. I find that I do better in this game when I take more turns, which means I need to buy patches that are a low time cost value to me. Tip number 2, prioritize patches that get you a lot of button income over patches that don't. This is not to dismiss tip number 1. Tip number 1, in my opinion, is more important than this tip, but this tip will help you out as well. Tip number 3, if it's the difference between you getting that 1-piece patch and not, always take the time advancement to get that 1-piece patch. Those patches save your butt all the time. Trust me. Overall, this is one of my favorite 2-player games. This one may have beat out Lost Cities for me, guys. I don't know. Lost Cities still wins because it takes up less space. It doesn't need as much of a table, but this game is so fun. If you've not played Patchwork and you're looking for a great 2-player game, I highly recommend you try this game out. Tell me some of your kind of misnomer games, the games that you thought sounded weird thematically and then you played them and you're like, oh my god, where was this game my whole life? Tell me, I want to know. Let me know down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you next week, Weirdlings. Bye!